Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
It's warm and windy, but not for long. We have quite a few dramatic weather changes on the way ahead of the holidays, and I'll break them all down for you coming up.
Also, Franklin County deputy shot. What we're learning about his condition and what the sheriff is saying about the suspect's history.
And at noon, a Duke Health nurse arrested. The crimes against patients that police accuse him of committing.
And help kids stay warm this winter. Our annual Coats for the Children drive is underway. We'll share the easy ways you can make a difference. It has been quite the weather day across North Carolina already, and it's a bit breezy out there, but we have sunshine after those morning downpours. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Levinger. Thank you so much for joining us. We do have some big weather changes tonight. We started the day, Kat, with the WRAL weather moment. It seemed like things kind of shifted, but things are going to start getting a little warmer for us now.
Oh, absolutely. It's mild outside, still blustery though. 18, our steady wind right now in the Triangle, gusting to 30 miles per hour. Winds gust to 34 miles per hour in Fayetteville, and we're seeing winds gust to nearly 30 miles per hour in Rocky Mount. Nothing like the winds we had this morning. We even had a 53 mile an hour gust at RDU, a 34 mile an hour gust in Goldsboro, and a 37 mile per hour wind gust in Fayetteville. It will stay blustery today, but the winds are gradually going to settle down tonight. By 5 o'clock, a steady wind around 10 miles per hour, still gusting to 25 miles per hour. But after sunset, the wind will gradually settle down tonight. And it's a cooling wind for us. We're going to see some cooler air make it past the mountains and move in. The rain long gone. You've got sunshine for the rest of the day. You can see the golfers taking advantage of this weather here at Pinehurst Resort and Country Club. Temperatures are still mild, just a thin band of cloud cover that's dissipating at this hour. It's still 61 in Southern Pine, 64 in Fayetteville, 66 in Goldsboro, a little cooler in Roxboro, and in the upper 50s here in the Triangle. After starting the morning, even warmer than this in the 60s. But check out the mountains. We're down to 37 in Boone, and you can see that sharp line of blue there. That is the cooler air that's going to be moving in tonight. So as we get toward midnight, that's when we'll dip into the 30s. Just know, as we look past sunset, we are going to be in the 40s. So grab an extra layer. We are cooling down. We're going to have a much closer look at your weekend ahead coming up.
All right, sounds good, Kat. Thank you. And just so you know, you can stay up to date on the storms and the rain that hit our area by using the WRAL weather app. It is free to download.
New at noon, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office has identified the man accused of shooting a deputy last night. This all happened on East River Road in Lewisburg. WRAL's Kirsten Clark joins us live from the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. And Kirsten, the suspect has been arrested many times before.
Renee, Franklin County Sheriff Kevin White shared an update about an hour ago. Take a look at this photo that he shared. White says that this is the man accused of shooting Franklin County Sheriff Deputy Taylor Lucas. His name is Jermaine Branch. White says Branch shot Deputy Lucas at, quote, point blank range in his chest. White also says Branch had been arrested dozens of times in the past and charged with violent crimes. The State Bureau of Investigation says Branch was also shot in an exchange of gunfire with Deputy Lucas and another deputy last night. Now, Sheriff White says that Lucas was chasing Branch. He says Branch opened fire while Lucas was trying to arrest him. Sheriff White says that if it were not for Deputy Lucas's breastplate, he would have died instantly. Now, we had crews at two crime scenes this morning. One was on East River Road and one on George Winter Road, just hundreds of feet apart. Forensics investigators collected evidence of a damaged vehicle that was then towed away. We were told that Deputy Lucas is still in the hospital recovering. We're also told that the suspect is also being treated. We're still working to learn more information about Deputy Lucas's condition, as well as the suspect's condition and any charges that he faces. Live in Franklin County, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
I'm Elizabeth Holmes in the WRAL Live Center. A Duke Health employee charged with committing sex crimes against two patients will remain behind bars. In the last hour, a judge denied bond for Jamil Tugado. He is accused of having sex with two people while they were, quote, incapacitated. That's according to arrest warrants. The alleged misconduct happened in May and then again earlier this month, again, according to warrants. Now, in a statement, Duke Health says that they take these allegations seriously and that Tugado was placed on administrative leave on December 7th.
Well, flags are flying at half-staff across the state in honor of former Governor Jim Hunt. U.S. and state flags at state facilities will remain lowered through Hunt's internment. He served as governor of North Carolina from 1977 to 1985 and 1993 to 2001. Some of his achievements include his focus on programs for public schools and development of RTP. We have full coverage of the death of former Governor Hunt on WRAL.com. You can listen to extended interviews from those who knew him best, and we'll continue to follow this story on TV and online.
Happening today, President Trump will speak in Rocky Mount. One of Trump's biggest 2024 campaign promises was to bring down inflation. However, inflation has kept rising due in part to his tariffs. A new Fox News poll this week shows 72% of Americans have a negative view of the economy. Here in North Carolina, a new Elon University poll found only a third of people approved Trump's job performance. WRAL state government reporter Will Doran says the president is expected to focus on his economic agenda today ahead of next year's midterm elections.
We obviously have the 2026 midterms coming up. Those are going to be heavily competitive, especially here in North Carolina. There's no surprise that he is choosing North Carolina to make one of his first stops in this domestic tour to sell his economic vision for the future.
I was supposed to be nice.
President Trump will be speaking at the Rocky Mount Event Center. Doors will open at 6 p.m. WRAL's Heidi Kirk will be there with live reports starting at 4 o'clock.
Federal investigators are sifting through the wreckage of a business jet that crashed in Statesville. That's the one that killed all 7 people aboard, including retired NASCAR driver Greg Biffle and his family. That Cessna C-550, while trying to return to the airport and land, that's when that crash happened. Biffle was rated to fly helicopters and single and multi-engine planes, but it wasn't clear if he was piloting the plane when it crashed. Meanwhile, a memorial at the North Carolina Auto Racing Hall of Fame in Mooresville is growing. Biffle was inducted into the hall in September. Firefighters in Smithfield are trying to determine the cause of an early morning fire in Smithfield. Firefighters were at that scene of a house on the fire on Castle Drive. That's off Wilson Mills Road. This is video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker around 2 a.m. this morning, and we saw police and fire investigators there at that scene. We're also working to learn whether anyone was hurt.
Today is a day of giving at WRAL. We are hosting our Coats for the Children's Drive in partnership with the Salvation Army. Another one of our longtime partners in this is Jiffy Lube. WRAL's Ken Smith is live at the Jiffy Lube on Western Boulevard with how you can be a part of today's Day of Giving. Ken, this is such a simple and impactful way to help families.
Oh, you're so absolutely right, Renee, because we're so grateful that we live in such a generous community here in the Triangle. With the help of photographer Zach Bartley, let me show you the sign that greets drivers coming east on Western Boulevard, heading toward the downtown area. Coats for the Children drop-off, and that's a sign that you'll see at many Jiffy Lube locations throughout the Triangle, because Jiffy Lube has been a partner with us for more than 30 years as part of our WRL's Coats for the Children campaign. Because it's a drop-off location, there are boxes like this set up all throughout the Jiffy Lube locations with the signage that lets you know that you are doing something special for our community. So let me show you exactly what we have here. People have been dropping off tons of coats, hats, and let me show you. Brand new hats. They've been dropping off gloves. They've been dropping off coats. Boy, this is really soft. And they've been dropping off coats for children, coats for adults. And the situation is we in desperate need of coats for the little ones, toddlers. We're also in desperate need of coats for larger coats, like the 3Xs and the 4Xs. And here's the thing. We all have a hall closet. Many of those hall closets are stacked with coats. Many of them we have not worn in so long. So here's what I want you to do. Go to that hall closet, sift through those coats that have been in that hall closet for a year or two. You haven't worn it, but they're still in good condition. We can use those coats. Just bring them to any Jiffy Lube location and drop them off. The other thing, too, you can go shopping. Target, Walmart, and just pick up a brand new coat when you're shopping for those Christmas gifts. Just think to yourself, maybe a coat that's on sale, you might grab it and just drop it off to any Jiffy Lube location, because your generosity will go such a long way in helping so many of our families who could use a little help this holiday season. We will be here at the Jiffy Lube location for the next hour or two. We have a special coming up at 1 o'clock. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I need to go visit Ken and drop off yourself a coat. I'll see you. I'll be waiting for you right here at the Jiffy Lube on Western Boulevard. Vinay?
Well, I'll take it from here, Ken. Look, you stop by, you see Ken, you get a selfie, donate a coat. It's a good Friday, right? All right, let's take a look at how stocks are performing this afternoon. Looks like the Dow Jones is up about 272 points. Off-screen, S&P 500 up 55. NASDAQ up 247. Looks like right now the NASDAQ is rising as AI trades are going on a bit of an end year on a high note there. And Oracle stock jumped as it has jumped into the investor group running for TikTok's U.S. business.
Next at noon, Epstein files deadline. The DOJ was supposed to release its case files by today. The rollout plan the department is choosing instead, and how many documents could come today.
And preventing breast cancer, the vaccine in its clinical trial phase that could give a lot of hope to a lot of people.
The Trump Kennedy Center. Why the board of trustees there voted for the name change, and the criticism coming from the Kennedy family.
Well, the hunt for the suspected shooter and the Brown University tragedy is over. Police found Claudio Valente dead at a storage facility in New Hampshire with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The former Brown University student is also a Portuguese national. State and federal agents found him with a satchel, 2 firearms, and evidence matching the crime scene. Police say they were able to track Valente down thanks to a surveillance video and a tip about a vehicle that led to a car rental shop in Massachusetts.
Nothing can really fully bring closure to the lives that have been shattered over the past week, but this may allow our community to move forward and begin a path of repair and recovery and healing.
Investigators believe Valente acted alone, but his motive is not yet known.
In the wake of the Brown University mass shooting, President Trump ordered Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to pause the diversity visa lottery program. Now, the 48-year-old suspected of carrying out last weekend's shooting is from Portugal, as Chris mentioned. Officials say he entered the U.S. through the diversity lottery visa program in 2017. That program is available to people who live in countries with low rates of immigration to the U.S. Diversity visa applicants must have a high school education or at least 2 years of qualifying work experience. Australia's Prime Minister announced a national buyback plan for firearms to get more guns off our streets in the wake of the Bondi Beach massacre. At least 15 people were killed when 2 gunmen opened fire at a Hanukkah celebration on Sunday. Under the new plan, states and territories will be tasked with collecting the weapons and processing payments to individuals for surrendered firearms. Federal police will be responsible for destroying them.
The Justice Department has until midnight tonight to record for the records connected to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein to be released. Although a top White House official warns some of the files may not be released until after the deadline. Democrats in the House Oversight Committee releasing a new batch of photos from the estate of late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Well, the 60 photos were released without any context and do not prove any illegal activity. One photo is a screen grab of a text chain appearing to discuss recruitment of an 18-year-old woman from Russia to meet Epstein.
A promising update on breast cancer prevention. The first phase of a clinical trial for a preventive breast cancer vaccine showed the shot produced an immune response. The vaccine aims to prevent triple-negative breast cancer, which is the most aggressive and deadly form of the disease. Phase 2 of this trial begins late next year. It's expected to last approximately 3 years. Researchers expect to move to phase 2 of the trial sometime late next year.
Just a reminder, today you have the opportunity to give back to families in need. Right now, the phone banks are open for our annual Coach for the Children campaign, and this is our day of giving. Michelle has been listening in and seeing all the people that are calling. So how are things going so far this afternoon, Michelle?
Chris, things are going great. Over $38,000 raised so far to help Coach for the Children and the Salvation Army, and that is incredible. We want to keep that going. We have amazing volunteers with us this afternoon from Dell Technologies and Omega Sci-Fi. They are here. They are taking your calls. Again, that number 919-214-5557. Donate anything that you can. $5, $10, $100. We've gotten some amazing donations so far today. $1,500, $1,000. So everybody has been so incredibly generous. And The Salvation Army organizations in our viewing area, they serve over 140,000 people. Your donation, all of the money you are donating today, it also stays local to the county where you are making that donation, which is absolutely incredible. We also saw Ken Smith at the Jiffy Lube. If you don't want to donate money, you can also donate a coat, hats, gloves, a scarf, new or gently used. Anything can help this time of year and is so greatly appreciated. Again, over $38,000 raised so far. I'll have another update coming up for you at 12:45, hopefully with that number even bigger.
Let's see if we can get past that 50,000 mark there. All right, thanks, Michelle. And just a reminder, it's the day of giving. It's going to be happening all day. And be sure to tune in throughout the day for our live updates. And just so you know, we will be airing specials today at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m.
We got some much needed rain last night and some this morning, and now we have beautiful weather out there, although very breezy as well, Kat.
Oh yeah, it's getting windy out there. We had low 60s this morning. Temperatures are starting to slide down now, but it's not bad. It feels great outside. Tomorrow will be cooler, but less windy, 54 the high, and then Sunday we bounce right back into the low 60s for highs. That's going to come with a lot of sunshine through the weekend and dry weather as well. We're still sitting at 60 at this hour in Fuquay Arena, Holly Springs, Clayton, a nice 63 degrees at this hour, 58 at RDU, Apex, Cary, as well as Knightdale, 57 in Wake Forest, and Chapel Hill, you are down to 56 now. If you're headed out for a walk this afternoon, temperatures do continue to fall. We could be in the upper 40s by 4 o'clock in some of our northern communities. That cooler air is pushing in. The jet stream dip is here, and we're going to start to see some of that chilly air arrive. The rain long gone, though. No more rain for the remainder of the day, which is good news for us. If you are traveling today ahead of the holiday weekend, JFK has some issues up in New York City with rain right now. That rain should clear out pretty soon. Issues in Denver where it appears that there are some issues, but they may not be weather related. Around here, if you are traveling, looks good. Tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, just a 20% chance of rain Tuesday and dry for Christmas Eve. Speaking of Christmas Eve, these numbers are pretty crazy as we head into Christmas. 63 Christmas Eve and 64 on Christmas Day. I've got to say, we may have to bump up the high temperature for Christmas Day. Some models are showing upper 60s here in the Triangle, which could even mean low 70s for areas like Fayetteville, Wilmington. It looks like it is going to be an exceptionally mild Christmas around here this year. So for any kids who get a bike from Santa, scooter from Santa, or outdoor toys, it looks like it'll be a pretty good day for it. Now, Christmas Eve night into Christmas morning, we will see an increase in cloud cover, so it may be a cloudy start. Luckily, Santa's got Rudolph's nose to help navigate through it. Looking ahead tomorrow, we'll wake up to temperatures in the lower 30s, a chilly start by lunchtime, 48 degrees, and low to mid 50s for highs. It's sunny, it is dry out there. Your 7-day forecast looks pretty good. Looking ahead, 54 tomorrow, but we go right back up, and then temperatures go right back down after that. 48 Monday. Tuesday, just a small chance for rain. The best chance of that would really be up toward the Virginia border, the northern part of our viewing area. And then we warm up for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day as we are looking ahead. Chris.
Happening now at the Live Center, we're working to learn more about a house fire in Cary. Sky 5 flew over the scene earlier today. We know that this house fire started around 10:30. This is on Greengate Court in Cary. No word yet on any injuries at this point. No word yet on the cause of the fire at this point. We are still waiting to hear from town officials to get that information. We'll be sure to share updates as we get them.
Elizabeth, thank you. Coming up on our news this afternoon, misinformation about sleep safety may be putting babies at risk. Today at 5:30, a Consumer Reports investigation found dangerous advice from social media influencers, AI chatbots, and more.
Plus, hospital worker charged. A Duke Health employee is on leave after getting accused of sexual misconduct with patients. Tonight at 6, new details from court. We're also talking toys this afternoon. They can be fun, but they can also be dangerous. What lawmakers are doing to keep children safe.
Major recall, the design flaw of some above-ground pools that could pose a drowning risk for your child.
More than 13,000 Blue Wave pools are being recalled because of a drowning risk. The above-ground pools are 48 inches and they're taller. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says children can use the external compression straps as a foothold, and that could allow them to access the pool and drown. At last check, there are no reports of incidents or injuries, and the pools were sold online and at stores nationwide. Owners should contact Blue Wave for a free repair kit. But in the meantime, owners should make sure kids cannot access those pools unattended. Another recall you should know about: more than 50,000 Mamisan pain reliever topical ointments. The Consumer Product Safety Commission reports the packaging is not child resistant. They say the ointment could cause significant injury and potentially death if children ingest any of it. We have more information about these recalled products and other recent recalls. Just go to our website, WRAL.com, and search the word recall.
A bipartisan effort on Capitol Hill is seeking answers on toys with artificial intelligence that may be exposing young children to inappropriate subjects. Here's an example of topics raising concerns.
Matches are for grown-ups to use carefully. Here's how they do it. 1. Hold the matchbox with one hand. The rough strip is for striking.
Kink refers to a wide range of interests and practices related to intimacy and relationships that are considered unconventional or outside the mainstream.
You can trust me completely. Your data is secure and your secrets are safe with me.
Some of the toys appear to use OpenAI's model. The company says they take action against developers using their services to exploit, endanger, or sexualize minors. Lawmakers are pressing for more action.
In this bipartisan way, I think we can provide safeguards. The goal here is to impose some guardrails, but also full disclosure, so parents know what these toys are going to do.
One company says they use their own AI model built by parents and experts. The makers of the Kuma teddy bear that taught kids to light a match has temporarily pulled it from the market for a safety audit.
American Airlines is eliminating perks for some of its customers. Basic economy travelers will no longer earn miles or loyalty points that can be built up for elite status. The airline says it's been reviewing product offerings in light of current flying competition. Basic economy customers can still get some perks. That includes one free carry-on, one personal item, and in-flight entertainment. Oh, and cabin snacks and drinks. Talking about a name change, the iconic Kennedy Center now has new signage. Why members of former President John F. Kennedy's family oppose adding President Trump's name to the structure.
On the move, millions of Americans are hitting the road for the holidays, where you can find the best gas prices in North Carolina. And here's a look at the winning lottery numbers.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Well, members of the Kennedy family are publicly voicing their disapproval over a decision to rename the Kennedy Center, a living tribute to former President John F. Kennedy.
The Board of Trustees voted to change the name to the Trump Kennedy Center. Garrett Hake reports one member of the board explains why she says the vote was illegal.
With President Trump pushing to remake Washington, D.C. in his own image, the president's hand-picked board at the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts now voting to add his name to the storied cultural institution and living memorial to the 35th president, John F. Kennedy. The center's website quickly updated to reflect the change.
I was surprised by it. I was honored by it.
The president overhauled the center's board in February, appointing allies who quickly installed him as chairman. A center spokesperson says the move recognizes the, quote, current chairman saved the institution from financial ruin and physical destruction, a reference to Congress allocating more than $250 million last summer for repairs and maintenance at the center, which opened in 1971. The center saying the vote was unanimous. But several members of Congress who are on the board but don't typically vote say they were shut out, including Democratic Representative Joyce Beatty.
I was not allowed to vote because I was muted. I would not have supported this.
Beatty and 5 other Democratic lawmakers on the board call the move illegal, saying in a statement, quote, federal law established the center as a memorial to President Kennedy and prohibits changing its name without congressional action.
Only Congress can rename the Kennedy Center. The wannabe king and his sycophantic minions can't do it.
Members of President Kennedy's family are condemning the change, including grandson Jack Schlossberg.
Trump may have notched another win tonight. It just wasn't one for the country. It was for himself.
And Kennedy's niece, Maria Shriver, calling the move, quote, downright weird, adding, perhaps President Trump will want to rename the Lincoln Memorial the Trump Lincoln Memorial. Carrie Kennedy saying her uncle, quote, proudly stood for justice, peace, equality, dignity, diversity, and compassion for those who suffer. President Trump stands in opposition to these values.
Looking ahead, President Trump is set to speak at the Rocky Mount Event Center tonight at 6. We've confirmed the economy will be a topic of that visit. Rocky Mount is in the 1st Congressional District, which was recently redrawn by Republicans to gain another seat in Congress. It's been represented by Democrats for years, most recently Congressman Don Davis. WRAL's Heidi Kirk will be in Rocky Mount. Look for her live coverage of the presidential visit starting at 4 p.m.
An update now on a story that we've been telling you about since yesterday. The National Transportation Safety Board said on X that they will be having a press conference today at 3 regarding that Statesville plane crash that killed Greg Biffle and his wife. Greg Biffle, a former NASCAR racer, his wife and 2 kids were part of the crew of 7 that were on board, all of them passing away. The NTSB said 16 of its team members will be heading to North Carolina. They will be here for about a week. Again, that press conference will be at 3 p.m. and it will be streamed on YouTube.
The hope is to get some kind of answers on what went wrong there. Thank you, Elizabeth. The Durham Association of Educators is asking the school district to work with them on key issues. Last night, DAE met with the superintendent's team, and they talked about the problems they want to take to the school board together. Those employees are calling on DPS to issue an updated ICE policy and train staff on anti-bullying. They're also asking for more transparency about the budget.
Tough budget decisions need to be made by all stakeholders, students, family, workers, the entire community, like we have an opportunity to do and meet and confer.
That group is asking for raises for classified staff, a stronger grievance policy, and biweekly pay. They also say the district needs to address issues with bus reliability.
We have your holiday travel checklist for anyone taking a road trip this holiday season. Before hitting the road, you're going to want to make sure your car is in the best condition possible. That means getting an oil change if it's time. It's also important to check your tire pressure and air filters. If you're traveling north, make sure you have the proper antifreeze and windshield wiper fluid.
You also have regional aspects as well. One oil refinery / type of blended gasoline versus another state. That can also create a little bit of a price difference between state to state, and even sometimes metro areas. You can see different aspects due to price competition.
And knowing the best place to fuel up is key. Prices vary from state to state, but overall gas prices are lower than last year. Here's a look at those prices across North Carolina. Here in Raleigh, a gallon of regular gas will cost you $2.66. In Wilmington, it costs around $2.64. And in Charlotte, the gallon goes for $2.65 on average.
Well, today is a day of giving at WRAL as we are hosting our Coach for the Children's Drive in partnership with the Salvation Army. We have Monica Casey right now, who has started her day at the Salvation Army of Wake County. She's been hanging around in Durham at the American Tobacco Complex. So, Monica, you saw people that were giving their coats, and we want people to continue to give on this day of giving.
Yes, Chris, we have been everywhere. I mean, we saw 16 bags of coats donated from just one group when we were over in Wake County today. Now, we're here in Durham's American Tobacco campus, and I am joined now by Derek Walker, the Director of Community Outreach for Fishing Point Healthcare. Tell me about why the organization you work with wanted to get involved in our Coats for the Children campaign.
Yeah, great. So as a healthcare organization that's providing services to the most neediest communities in the Durham area, it just made sense to align ourselves with another organization that has the same mission and values as we do.
Absolutely. And now, Derek, you're a father yourself. Seeing these kids who need coats, you know, what does that bring up for you, and why did you all want to get involved like that?
It's so gratifying to provide coats to kids in needs, individuals that need coats. So like I said, those missions and those core values align with Fishing Point Healthcare. So we're honored to partner with the Salvation Army of Durham.
It's beautiful, and I want to show people the check, the big reveal here. Let's hear it.
Yep. So we're honored to present the Salvation Army of Durham $1,000.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Great job. Thank you for being down here. I know you came down from Virginia because you all have locations everywhere. Yes. Durham really appreciates you all. And now if you are looking to donate today, you can go to WRAL.com/coats. We also have a phone bank where you can donate. Or if you are able to get out in person, you can donate coats and all kinds of winter accessories at your area Jiffy Lube and Salvation Army locations. Now, we also know this year they are especially asking for infant and toddler sizes and also large and extra large sizes. The Salvation Armies in our area serve over 140,000 people, so a lot of people need your help, and it's a great time to donate. Live in Durham, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
Getting Olympic ready. What host country Italy is working on with just 6 weeks to go.
Plus, Super Saturday. That's the marketing lingo for the Saturday before Christmas. How procrastinators and last-minute deals could help make it a record shopping day. Just a reminder, you can watch WRAL News live anytime on WRAL.com or the WRAL app on your streaming device.
We're about 6 weeks away from the 2026 Milan Cortina Winter Olympics in Italy. And the mayor of Cortina says work at and around venues are in their final stage. An upscale winter resort in the Dolomites will host women's alpine skiing, curling, bobsled, luge, and skeleton. Cortina will have its own cauldron with the Olympic flame, as well as an opening ceremony to honor the athletes. This will be the second time in history Cortina will be hosting the Olympics. NC State's football team will look to end the season on a winning note today. They will play the Memphis Tigers this afternoon in the Gasparilla Bowl. That game will be at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Kickoff is at 2:30.
It's been 1 year of Bill Belichick at UNC, and our brand new documentary looks at all the hype and the headlines and what really happened during the hiring process. UNC ended the season with 4 wins and 8 losses. Many blame Belichick's first hire at UNC for the on-the-field problems.
And I've never worked on a story like that, where one person after another was not only willing to talk, they just kept dunking on the same person. And that's Michael Lombardi, the GM.
Critics say Lombardi and Belichick dropped the ball on recruiting and player evaluations this first year. UNC Chancellor Lee Roberts said success is not measured in one season. You can watch Coaching Carolina the Belichick Way right now on all WRAL platforms, including YouTube.
Super Saturday shopping. Why procrastinators could save big bucks on Christmas gifts.
And WRAL Day of Giving, we are asking our viewers to dig deep to help keep our neighbors warm. Look in those closets. Look what you have. How small donations could make a big difference this winter. Well, Pokemon cards are big business, and now a local manufacturing company is expanding in what is believed to be one of the biggest industrial lease deals this year. Several sources tell WRAL Pokemon card maker Millennium Print Group will move into Spark LS. That is a 1.3 million square foot facility in Morrisville. It will serve as the hub for the global manufacturer for trading cards and collectible cards. Millennium and Pokemon didn't immediately respond to requests for comments for this story, but the deal comes as sales of trading cards have surged in recent years. So if you're still shopping for the holidays, you're not alone. I'm right there with you. This Saturday is known as Super Saturday. It's the one before Christmas, right? And it's expected to be the busiest yet. Industry experts say nearly 159 million people could be out hunting for last-minute gifts. That's even more than last year. Surveys show many shoppers were only halfway done earlier this month. Stores are bracing for big crowds, long lines, and packed parking lots.
Today, you have the
volunteers for our Day of Giving during our WRAL Coach to the Children campaign. As we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines that we're following today. A Duke Health employee charged with committing sex crimes against 2 patients and this person will stay in jail. In the last hour or so, a judge denied bond for Jamil Tugado. He is accused of having sex with 2 people while they were incapacitated. The alleged misconduct happened in May and then again earlier this month, according to warrants. Duke Health says Tugado is on administrative leave. And new today, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office has identified the man accused of shooting a deputy in Lewisburg. The sheriff says Jermaine Branch shot Deputy Taylor Lucas at point-blank range in his chest. He also said the shooting happened while the deputy was chasing and trying to arrest Branch. Deputy Lucas is in the hospital recovering, and so is Branch, who was also shot in exchange during the gunfire there. The sheriff says Branch has been arrested dozens of times in the past, charged with violent crimes. Tonight, President Donald Trump will speak in Rocky Mount, and that'll happen at the city's event center. Our NC Capitol team expects the president to focus on his economic agenda and ahead of next year's midterm elections. That's what they'll be discussing. North Carolina is home to a U.S. Senate race that the White House sees as a priority for Republicans. Doors open at 6 tonight, and WRAL's Heidi Kirk will be there with live reports during our evening newscast starting at 4. 2026 arrived early in Times Square, as at least the numbers actually did. The giant 2026 numerals for the Times Square New Year's Eve ball arrived in Manhattan yesterday. The 7-foot-tall numbers are now available for early photo ops at street level. After Tuesday, the 2026 sign will be transported by teams to the top of Times Square. Parents and hospital employees call it the perfect mixture of sweetness and fun. Look at these photos here. These are from the Cleveland Clinic Children's NICU. The felt sweaters and the crocheted hats feature the Grinch, Cindy Lou Who, a gingerbread, and so many more. And look at the cute little people that are wearing them. Hospital staff say the outfits are meant to serve as lasting reminders of joy during a chapter that can be filled with stress and uncertainty. Each family will take the special crocheted holiday hats and sweaters home as keepsakes. And cute little babies. All right, all you need is love to adopt one of our puppies of the day. Their names are Brioche, Ciabatta, Croissant, Focaccia, Pita, and Sourdough. Hey, Focaccia's the name of my dog. All girls 9 weeks old will be spayed before going home. They are playful, they're sweet and rambunctious, and they are very affectionate. They start chirping and wagging their tails so fast the second they see new people. And if you are interested in one or more of these adorable girls, you can contact the SPCA of Wake County. Cell phone price hike. Smart devices can cost hundreds of dollars, but next year, oh, that's going up. What's driving up the numbers? That's coming up today on WRAL News at 4. And just a reminder, you can get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. And another reminder, the Day of Giving will be happening all day today for our Coach for the Children campaign. Be sure to tune in throughout the day for our live updates. And coming up in 4 minutes, we are going to have our 1 o'clock special dedicated to trying to raise money for the kids who need coats this holiday season. I'm Chris Levingood. Hope you have a blessed day, and we'll give you a last look at our awesome volunteers coming in to do their part on this Day of Giving.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.
Stressful. Babe. Will they